Welcome back to the Explainer Focus Learners. I am so pumped you're hanging out with me today because, honestly, we're about to unlock a piece of Spanish grammar that is an absolute game changer for sounding like a native. We are diving headfirst into Spanish indefinite pronouns, and we're going to master them using this really cool concept, the power of duality. Think of them like rival twins or mirror images. By the time we wrap up this explainer, you're going to see exactly how these opposites attract, and you'll be dropping them into your conversations like a total pro. Let's get right to it.
Okay, here's our roadmap. We've got 1. The Spanish unknowns. 2. Things, algo versus nada. 3. People, alguien versus nadie. 4. Quantities, algún versus ningún. 5. More handy pronouns. And finally, 6. Practice and wrap up. Section 1. The Spanish unknowns, navigating the undefined in conversation.
So, every single day, no matter what language you're speaking, we all run into the exact same problem. We need to talk about a thing, maybe a person or an amount of something, but we just don't know, or we don't need to spell out, their exact identity, right? It's a super relatable question. How do we talk about things or people when we don't know exactly who or what they are? Like you hear a bump in the night, you don't know who it is, you just know it's someone. Well, our conversational heroes here are indefinite pronouns. And honestly, the absolute best way to learn them in Spanish is to pair them up as rivals. Once you lock in the positive word, boom, you immediately learn its negative counterpart. Moving to section 2, things. Algo versus nada, the duality of things. Let's look at our first pair of rival twins. This is all about inanimate objects, situations, or concepts. On the left, representing our positive presence, we have algo, which simply translates to something. And right across the ring from it, its absolute rival, the negative nada, which means nothing. Whenever you're trying to reference an undefined object, you're going to reach for one of these two. Let's see this play out in a quick mini-story. Imagine someone asks, ¿Qué vas a cocinar hoy? Meaning, what are you going to cook today? And the response is just deadpan. Nada, no tengo tiempo para cocinar. Nothing, I don't have time to cook. Notice how perfectly nada steps in as a standalone tool in daily dialogue to represent the total absence of a thing. It's so natural. Section 3. People. Alguien versus Nadie. The duality of people. Okay, so what happens when we switch our focus to human beings? We pair the positive presence of alguien, which is your someone or somebody, against the absolute absence of nadie, which means no one or nobody. Just like algo and nada, these two are completely joined at the hip. The crucial point here is how these two interact out in the real world. Think about this quick exchange. Say you're on the phone and your friend asks, ¿Hay alguien contigo? Is someone with you? And you reply, No, nadie, estoy solo. No, nobody, I am alone. In just a couple of words, that unknown person you were asked about literally becomes nobody. It's direct, it's efficient, and it is incredibly common in everyday spoken Spanish. Up next, Section 4, Quantities. Algún versus ningún, the duality of amounts.
Let's kick this up a notch and talk about the quantity of these unknown things. Now, this is where Spanish grammar asks you to lean in and pay just a little bit more attention. We are contrasting algún and ningún. These roughly translate to some and none. But wait, there's a catch. What we're looking at here are specifically the singular masculine forms. Unlike algo and nada, or alguien and nadie, which never ever change their endings, our quantity twins actually have to agree with the nouns they're modifying. So let's logically break down these slight variations, looking at the some rules. If the noun is feminine, you use alguna. If it's plural and masculine, it's algunos. But check out the singular masculine part. We actually have two options there, algún and alguno. The rule is surprisingly simple though. You use algun when it comes directly before a masculine singular noun, but if that noun is omitted, like it's already understood in the context, you use alguno. And the exact same logic applies to the negative side with ningún and ninguno. Let's look at a conversational example to make this super clear. Let's say someone enthusiastically asks, ¿Tienes algún disco de Isaac Delgado? Because disco is a masculine singular noun, we drop the O and use algún. Do you have any record by Isaac Delgado? The response? Sí, tengo algunos. ¿Los quieres? Here we smoothly shift to the plural masculine algunos to say, yes, I have some. Do you want them? You see how elegantly that flows in conversation? Now let's bring in the negative twin. ¿Te gusta el fútbol o la pelota? Do you like soccer or baseball? The answer?
No me gustan ninguno de los dos. Prefiero otros deportes. I really want to highlight this because it shows exactly how the negative ninguno steps in when you are rejecting both options entirely. Because it's referring back to the sports without sitting directly in front of a singular noun, it keeps its O at the end. I don't like either of the two. Boom, done.
Moving into section 5, more handy pronouns, beyond the opposites. So while opposites are incredibly powerful cognitive anchors, our conversational toolkit does need a few extra standalone tools to be fully complete. I'm just going to quickly group these essential extras so you can start adding them to your vocabulary today. We have varios or varias for several. We've got todo, which changes for gender and number, meaning everything or all. And we have otro, meaning another or others. Think of these as your utility players. They literally pop up everywhere in conversation.
For instance, check out how todo is used to just reassure someone. Picture your friend stressing out big time over a presentation. You just look at them, totally relaxed, and say, Tranquilo, hombre, todo está perfecto. Relax, man, everything is perfect. It's such a natural, friendly way to deploy this pronoun.
Finally, section 6, practice and wrap up. Real-world conversational context. All right, we've learned the rules, we've met our rival twins, and we've gathered our extra utility tools. Now let's bring the whole shebang together and see how these pronouns organically mix in a single conversation. Look at how this sentence masterfully weaves 4 different indefinite pronouns into one completely cohesive thought. ¿Alguien quiere comer algo? Does someone want to eat something? Claro, todos queremos saborear todo lo que hay en la mesa. Of course, we all want to taste everything that is on the table. Alguien, algo, todos, en todo, all working seamlessly together. How cool is that?
Let's just briefly recap the core dualities we covered today. Honestly, if you remember nothing else from this explainer, remember these rival twins. For things, algo and nada. For people, alguien and nadie. For quantities, algún and ningún. Just keep these mirror images in your back pocket, and you will never be at a loss for words when navigating the unknown in Spanish.
So, I'm going to leave you with this. Which of these indefinite pronoun pairs are you going to deliberately try to use in your next Spanish conversation? Will it be algo and nada? Maybe algún and ningún? Let me know by dropping a comment down below. And hey, if this explainer helps you clarify these tricky Spanish concepts, please make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to our YouTube channel so we can keep making these complex topics totally understandable for you. Keep practicing, and I'll see you in the next explainer.